I've got to commend you because you left the 9 to 5. And yes, it took you a year, but most people, they never do it.
Yeah.
And you did it, but you did it without like a parachute. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
you got to make it work or you're going back to the 9 to 5. And then you did make it work, but you didn't like it. And instead of continuing to do it like most people do and hating it and shifting from owning a business to a business owning you,
Yeah.
you said, no, I'm going to just do this differently. I need to get into a different business. I need to, like, this isn't working for me. So I just want to honor you in that because most people never take the first step. You took the first step, then you took the second step, and then you scaled what is one of the most successful businesses and brands in the online content building space.
Well, thank you for that. It's definitely been a crazy wild ride. I've made so many mistakes along the way. And I recently, back in February, I launched my very first book. It's called 2 Weeks Notice. And I wrote the book. It's all about how to quit your job, make more money, work where you want, and change the world. And the whole point was I did this because I wanted something different. And a lot of people, what you exactly just said, most people won't do it. They'll get too scared. It's too risky. What will people think of me if I leave behind this secure job and venture out on my own when I have no proof that it will work? And the book is to help people have a runway of how to do this step by step. And then once you're out on your own, how do you make that work? So it was so scary for me and so rocky in the beginning that I thought I'd love to take some of that away from people, those challenges, and make it a little bit of a smoother ride. So yeah, so that's why I wrote the book.
Well, I'd love to get into some of these steps, especially just even like step one, because I've been guilty of this. And I know a lot of my friends have been guilty of this, where you become a slave to the business you've built. You become a slave to the money you make or the lifestyle that you've become accustomed to, or to the comfort of the know, like that you're in the know of what a job entails and who your coworkers are and who your boss is and how you need to show up.
Yeah.
You have this safety that you can become a slave to of like, well, I worked this hard. I went to college for this degree, so I have to use it. Or I've been at this company for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I have to stay. I have to get my pension. I have to get this promotion. I mean, there's so many like hooks, golden handcuffs that chain people to what they're doing, even though most people don't love what they do.
Yes. It's so true.
It's crazy. And I've found, by the way, when people have passive income, and this is why I'm such a big fan of it, when people have passive income, it makes it very clear, do I want to keep doing what I'm doing? People, I mean, it's like I'm staying, but I'm only working half the hours I was working because I actually love it. I thought I didn't love it, but I actually love it if I'm working just 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
Or I'm getting the heck out of here because I know what I'm built to do, or I want to explore and figure out what it is that I'm built to do.
It's so true. And you hit it on the head when you said that we become a slave to what we know and what is comfortable to us, that we're too scared to step outside of that because what if it doesn't work? And the first step that I teach my students is you have to get really clear on what you want. And in order to leave a comfortable, regular paycheck job and go out into the unknown, you have to value something more than you value security. And that's a really hard thing to do. Coming from a girl who grew up with two blue-collar parents, security was everything. Hustling to make it count, make the dollar work, that was all I knew. So security was everything to me. But then in that meeting, a light bulb turned on and I realized there's a whole other world out there that I had no idea. And so in that moment and through the next year, I started to value freedom more than I valued security. And it didn't happen overnight. I read the books, I took the courses, I listened to the podcast, I surrounded myself with people who had done it. So it was a shift that I made over the next year to get the courage, not confidence. Courage comes first. Confidence is when you have a track record. I got the courage to actually leave that job and start something new. So the first step is to get clear on what you want and why you want it. And you have to value something important to you over the security of your job. But the second thing I teach my students is you've got to choose an exit date. Schedule it to make it real. That's something that I learned when I worked for Tony Robbins. Schedule it to make it real. So I chose an exit date. At that time, it was about 6 months till I was ready to do it. And it was in June. So from that day till June, it was going to be 6 months. I put the date on a Post-it note, put it on a mirror where I saw it every single day. And I asked myself, what do I need to do today to move me closer to that date? Because come hell or high water, I am leaving on that date and I got to figure this out. So let me give you an example. One of the things I did is I was watching people online, people doing things and building businesses like I wanted. And there was this one woman who had digital courses. She had a blog. Podcasts weren't even that big of a thing at the time. So she had a blog and she had clients and she had this beautiful website. And I thought, I want to have a business like that. So I sent her an email and I said, I know you don't know me, nor do you offer this, but can I pay you for an hour of your time to just talk to you about how you built your business? And she said yes. So at my lunch hour, the walls were thin at Tony Robbins, so I crawled underneath my desk. I didn't even have a cell phone. I got a landline. I took the cord under the desk and I asked her all the questions. How did you create your first digital course? What did it look like? Where did you get the money to then go into this? And how did you create a website? I was clueless, but she was generous with her time. Plus I was paying her, so I was putting something up front and I got so much value. To this day, she's still my friend and it was just a great experience. But again, I look at that date every day and I said, what do I need to do today to move me closer to that date? And I had to get courageous. I had to ask for things I wasn't comfortable asking for. I had to do things that I wanted to do. And another thing that I teach my students is I was careful who I told. Don't share your dreams with everybody because not everybody will understand. So that nosy coworker and you tell them, I want to quit my job and start my own business, they'll tell you all the reasons you shouldn't do it, even though they've never done it. So I was careful who I told because I was impressionable. And if I told one person that told me not to do it, I probably would have believed them. And so I told my husband, my best friend, and my mom who thinks I could land on the moon at any time. So people that truly believed in me, everyone else didn't get to know until weeks before I actually did it.